There are two doctrines in international law. One is called terra nullius, which people are often familiar with, and that means a land that is not inhabited. It comes from Roman law, and basically it meant the property of an enemy. The property of an enemy was automatically considered to belong to no one and be open for the taking. And so what the Catholic Church did is change that to terra nullius. And it was the people were null and void themselves in terms of a recognized legal status. The people are living there, but they're not Catholic and they're not converted to Christianity, so therefore they are null and void. They have no legitimate legal or political status. That's similar to what's happening now. They say your system has no legitimate political or legal status, so you can't hold your standards to us, but we, meaning the Western system, have the perfect right to hold our standards against you and apply them against you in the appropriation of your genetic material.
The peoples of the world were coming ever closer together. At a faster and faster pace, modern inventions were helping man to extend his control over space and time.
Colonization to me means the imposition of an alien way of life, of alien values on our society. It's about a takeover by someone over there, over our space.
Colonization in itself always had profit as one of the motives, but colonization as a process always exists in a sense beyond motive. It was a process designed purely to dispossess those who were deemed inferior, who were deemed irrelevant to Western concepts of progress and civilization and so on.
Exploring rivers deeper into the center of the jungle, we find a people whose African ancestors escaped or were left by the slave traders of over a century ago. They now live as their forefathers lived in the African jungles, untouched by the modern world. A harmless, uncivilized race of people, hiding in the dense jungles from the eyes of the outer world.
I see genetic modification is falling within that context as well. There is an economic imperative driven by the multinational companies, but it's part of a much more deep-seated cultural imperative that indigenous peoples can be rendered irrelevant.
No, these are not lampshades or baskets. They are Negro hats woven from local fiber. The wearer of the masks personify the chimpanzees of the forest, and their grotesque evolutions are supposed to imitate those of the chimpanzees. Now, doesn't he look like a tough guy from the desert and a shrewd bargainer? Did you notice the padlock in the lady's nose? Placed there perhaps to keep her nose out of other people's business.
If you're going to dispossess people and have a good conscience while you do so, then you have to dehumanize them. You have to turn them into objects so that you can rape, kill, murder, commit genocide against them, and not feel unduly bothered by doing so. And genetic modification is the ultimate rape and plunder of the human spirit. And so part of the reason that it has to be now cloaked in so much scientific truth is the same reason why 4 centuries ago the dispossession of our people was cloaked in religious truth. It's to ease the conscience of those who wish to do the dispossessing.
We're not inviting geneticists to come out and look at our DNA. We're not inviting them to come out and look at our plants. It's a completely unwanted advance of colonization, just like all other previous acts of colonization have been.
It seems to be a campaign of colonizing people now. They've run out of the land and everything else. That's probably already under their control, so now they're after the essence, the life essence, the modi of the people themselves.
It is within the power of all of us to bring about a better way of life for people of all races and nationalities. Our goal must be mutual trust, mutual understanding, mutual respect, so that our most distant friends will know how to live with us and we with them in one family of nations on this shrinking world.
Well, the Native American poet John Trudell once said that the New World Order is the Old World lie. And I think that's the case with genetic modification. Nothing essentially has changed. Western civilization, for want of a better term, has always seen the indigenous world as a place to rape and to plunder.